All right, good afternoon. Welcome to the New York session. I hope you're doing well. Um, so today is Thursday, the 7th of August, 2025, and here we are with the dollar index again. So let's look at what happened. I think yesterday I was not here, so we couldn't go through all of this, but on Tuesday I actually gave you what I was expecting, that price was likely gonna break. Okay, and then if it does break, then we will trade to the 98.51 and the 98 50 35 level. And so far we've done that yesterday nicely. So we have touched a level that I think might, the keyword here is might, cause a potential pullback into that H4 range, this high to this low. Okay, so during this New York session, I think we have news at 1:30, and during this New York session, maybe price might try, okay, to come up into a pullback into somewhere here. If we reject where we are and move lower, then that's going to be a little bit tricky because there's nothing left on the downside. The only thing left now is basically this one here, which is a gap. Okay, so that's a gap on the 1 hour time frame that happened in London. So if we reject and then we come lower, that will be the last line of defense to send price back up again. If we lose that, then definitely the down candle formed on the monthly time frame might be in trouble. Not saying it's gonna break, but it might be in trouble. But we will take it one day at a time. So let's see how the 1:30 news event is gonna affect price, and then from there we will decide what we're gonna do next. Now, in terms of what the week's supposed to do, I'm happy with what the week has done so far. We had a high formed on Tuesday, breakdown, pullback down. We went, touched the decent level. Now, can we move one more time lower, or do we reject and come back up? That is something that we need to wait and see. So I think when it comes to the majors, it's a wait and see scenario. With Euro, I think not last week, on Tuesday, I mentioned it's either we take out the previous day's low and reject, or if the New York session gives you the gap, and then you did. Now, I had a buy limit right here. I still have it. It didn't tag me in, and then price flew away. So yeah, let's see this New York session. We did have rate announcement on the on the British pound at around 12 p.m. today, and that was the cause of this drop that happened. Okay, at 12 p.m. we had a rate announcement, and by that time price had rejected the London move to the upside. So I was convinced that they were going to take this pair lower, especially Euro pound, which I'll bring it to your view now. Because last week I was expecting, was it last week? Yes, last week. No, I think I might be mistaken. This week I was expecting lower prices. I was expecting lower prices because last week closed below the previous week low. So this week is meant to be going down, and I like the fact that when the week started, price went up. Even though it came down, this was not a manipulation. This one is the manipulation. Okay, so during the 12 o'clock news, by that time this candle had just closed, so I highlighted this fair value gap there. In case price pulls back into it, then they will send it down. But the news came and then it just collapsed. So I think euro pound, it's likely gonna come all the way down to attack this low. Okay, so going forward, maybe to tomorrow, you can start looking for a potential sell to continue going lower. All right, because I like the fact that the weekly closed below, on the daily we closed below previous week low. Hence, this is always going to be a pullback, and you can see the aggressiveness of the down candle. Okay, so look for continuation to 086110, and in my opinion that would be the best one to be following. And the euro pound, I think euro pound, I've already said it several times that they were going to take it up in here and then potentially above that high. So it has been consolidating for some time, I think throughout last week, not doing much, but with the euro pound going lower, I think we might get some push on the upside on this pair. So look forward for that. Dollar yen, I think I spoke about this one too, that they were going to move on Tuesday. This high, this low, this is a pullback, and they're going to attack this low. I still stand with that idea, even though it came very close to it and it pulled back. I still stand with that idea until we break this high. Until we break this high, I still stand with the idea that price is supposed to go lower. Okay, so again, let's see how the news event, because this will have a direct impact on the it will have a direct impact on the dollar yen. So the news at 1:30 will have a direct impact on the dollar yen. Hence, let's wait and see how the 1:30 news will affect the dollar yen. Gold, we've traded to the next target, which was here, and we rejected immediately. Now, based on the daily, we've actually got into premium because this high to this low, that's premium. Now what I want to see, especially today, is do we stay above yesterday's high? Okay, do we stay above yesterday's high, or do we break yesterday's low? So far, we've not had much in terms of aggressiveness. The only aggressive move that we've had so far this week is this move to the upside, where we came into this gap and then reacted off from it. But apart from that, we've not had any significant move, so the week has not really expanded anywhere. So this is the weekly opening, and we've not expanded anywhere. So I want to see, do we stay above yesterday's high, or do we go below yesterday's low? That will give more quote unquote clarity to what price wants to do going forward. Hence, watch this New York session. Now I know they've created this fair value gap during the London session, but from the weekly and monthly perspective, we are still bullish, especially on the monthly perspective. And the high of the previous months and lows are still hanging around. So over here, that high was not taken, that high has not been taken, this low was not taken, that low has not been taken, and that is where price is going. It's going for one of these. So on the daily, since we have a gap on the downside, then I think it's gonna aim for the highs. Unless we trade through the gap, then obviously they will aim for the lows. But based on, you know, following the fair value gaps, we have a bullish one, hence price is likely gonna go for the highs. That's why I think we might go up rather than down. Okay, so let's see how this New York session is gonna trade, and then we will take it from there. So far this week, we've not had anything major. As you can see over here, price has really not expanded anywhere. Crude oil, we finally went and attacked the low. I think Tuesday I spoke about price definitely going to attack this low, and I happened to, I think, what was it? Yeah, so whilst I was where I was yesterday, I saw this on my phone. I saw that on my phone, and I knew they were gonna come for this, because that was a market maker sell model with this aggressive drop during the kill zone. So I shorted on my phone, and then I attacked this low and that low as a draw liquidity, which was the previous month low, because they were very close to that level. And as soon as they tapped it, I got out, and you can see as soon as they tapped it, pulled back, and I couldn't go in again because that's a previous month low, so I didn't want to get caught into maybe this being a reversal. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, I think downside for this week might be done. Okay, because we opened Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we went down. I have some neighbors and they like to make some noise. When the kids are off from holiday, they just make noise. Okay, so I think maybe today price might go up. That is maybe. All right, so let's see if what I'm feeling for crude oil might be true, because they've wiped out all the consolidation, the high and the low. On the H4, this move down, okay, might be a buy, not a sell, with a drop and then a pullback and to go down. So be careful if you trade crude oil looking for sells. Now, can sell work? Yes, it can work, but on the basis that if we were still looking for lower prices, then yes, but we've already attacked the lows. Okay, can it continue going down? Absolutely, yes, it can continue going down, but that is not what I'm anticipating. So I want to wait and see, do we come back up above this, especially the gap. So this price level, 65.84, 65.84, do we go above it or do we reject? If we go above it, then price is likely gonna continue going higher, but if we reject it, then they might want to continue going lower, and this is a gap, and the next one will be down here. So if we reject it, then that will be the next level that price will reach for. So that will give more room to the downside if they reject it. So again, keep an eye on it and see, do we reject or do we trade above? If we trade above, look for price to come back up. If you reject, look for lower prices. Okay. Okay. Let's continue. Yes, we've now traded to the breaker. Again, do we reject or do we go above? I don't know. We'll see this New York session. Okay, we'll see this New York session. Because like I said last time, I saw that this is a market maker buy model after they went above. This is distribution. So this level here was always going to be a drawn liquidity. Now they are there. Do we reject and we go lower, or do we stay and continue going higher? Based on the weekly, okay, based on the weekly profile, we open, went up, pull back, went up. So New York session, it's gonna decide, do we break or do we continue? Watch this down candle. If we break, you're selling to come back below this low. Okay, so pay attention. Do we break or do we break here, or do we go up above this up candle? If we do, we're gonna continue going higher. That's the last area of distribution. Oh, sorry, the first area of distribution. That is OTE. We need to come back down. This high to this low. That's exactly 79 retracement level. So that should be it. And then we come down. If we do not, then we will make a new high. And all of this is a reaccumulation. I think on Tuesday I spoke about that's the last piece of the puzzle that I'm trying to figure out, when to identify when a drop, okay, is a buy or is a sell. Okay, now sometimes I know, sometimes it's not there. So I'm trying to figure that one out. Once I do, I'll probably share. Depends. I'll probably share, and that'll be the end, because everything else, I think yeah, I got everything covered apart from when we have such aggressive drops. Okay, when to identify whether it was a buy or when to identify whether it was a sell. That is what is left. Okay, so let's see if we will break this down candle, then you're selling. If we sell, or if you sell, that's your first target. This will be your second target. So in terms of levels, 6349 and then 6305. That'll be the downside objective. If we break this, then obviously the I think the projection that we did, I forgot the price level. Let me put it back. Okay, right there. So 6536, which we are not far from. So if we break, then 6536 will be your upside objective. Okay, so that is that for the ES. Now let's move on to crypto market. So with Bitcoin, I think Tuesday we spoke about this candle that if we break it, we're gonna go higher, which we did not. Came back into the fair value gap, and then we rejected and traded through the up candle. Then we are now disposed to go up. So on the daily, it means we've now gone above the fair value gap, meaning the probability of price now reaching for 123,189 is very high. Why? Because we've now dipped into a weekly gap. We have closed bullish for the month, so this might likely be the low of the month, and price will begin to climb back up again. So watch every down movement to the upside. The down movement will become your protection, where you're gonna protect yourself, and we should stay above them to continue going up. If we lose them, it's game over. Okay, so Bitcoin, I think previous week probable, but at the same time pay attention to, not because I said previous week probable, you're gonna close your eyes, and even if we trade through a down candle, you still be looking for higher prices. If we trade through a down candle, put that aside and then look for previous week low as the draw on liquidity. For now, to the upside. Ethereum, I think it was the first one to confirm, as I mentioned on Tuesday, and so far you can see it's raging higher. I think it's gonna attack previous week high, and then the 4105 level, that equal high. Solana, last Tuesday I gave this down candle to buy, because I think this is OTE and you're gonna go higher. Kind of went through but came right back up and created a same type of candle. Oops. It came back and created another auto block right here and then went up. So this whole move, now on the lower time frame, this is what I mean. When it happens like this, then I know that they bought, okay, on a lower time frame like this. But when it happens on a weekly, then it's a different ball game together, because this is supposed to go up. So when it drops like this, definitely it looks like manipulation, especially with them going through this area of distribution. Okay, so when it happens like this on a lower time frame, that's a buy. Okay, and then they go back up, meaning any down candle here, that's a buy, right? Okay, so for now, that is the draw on liquidity, and then just keep stick to that side of the market. XRP also did something similar. I gave that candle to buy, traded through it, now they're back above it. So I think ICT calls this reclaimed order block. If we pull back to that candle again, buy that same candle. If we pull back to it, and then continue going up with it. Okay, so if we pull back to it, buy it, continue going up with it. Hype also did something similar. I don't know why they did that manipulation, but it's all fine. So we are now back to that same level again, so still buy to continue going up. AI16 is doing amazing. It didn't go for that low, which is fine, but so far it's rejected the whole move to the downside on Tuesday, and I like the fact that we are going above this candle. Okay, why? Because this was an aggressive candle that they were meant to continue going lower with it, but they are now back above. Hopefully we can stay above it, as in we can close above it. If we do, then price is likely gonna now probably come up here or there, then we will see, do we get the energy to break it? Again, this is similar to what I'm describing. This is a whole big down candle on the higher time frame. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, could be a monthly one as well, right? And we are rejecting. So if we can stay above that down candle, that is a huge shift in the market on the AI 16. That'd be a huge shift. So keep an eye on it today. Do we close above? Because if we do, I think it might mean a lot, especially even on the monthly, right? Because the monthly candle is rejecting this low and the previous month low. So we might be aiming for even 21. And if we can aim for 21 and close and sustain above 21, these 3 down candles will also mean that 3 months candle might be shifting. But let's take it one day at a time. So that for now. Okay, so by the end of today, if we close above, definitely higher prices. And then finally Chachki. I think Chachki went and took out the previous month high as we identified the last time on Tuesday. Can it continue? Of course. Now just pay attention to the gaps. We've created one here, so far so good. The next upside objective is the one that I highlighted over here. That is where price is going to reach for 0.4011. Okay, so look for that as they draw on liquidity, and then we will see what price will do once we get there. Okay, so that is all for now. But before I go, let's switch back to the currency market and then look at what the euro is going to do and the dollar is going to do with the news event in the next 1 minute and 30 seconds. So let's see, 1 minute 30 seconds will decide the fate of the it will decide the fate of the dollar index. So let's wait and see. Okay, I'm right here, just patiently waiting. Okay, so as you can see, we didn't get much movement from the news event. Yeah, the news is out. We didn't get much. We didn't get any dramatic move. So watch this down candle. Okay, watch that down candle. Let me see. Yeah, so you have filters that you can use. So you have an up candle here and that down candle. You're watching that. Whichever gives way, you go in that direction on a 5-minute chart. So here, if we break that, probably look for sells on euro. If we break this down candle, look for buys on euro. Because that one, oh sorry, let me rephrase. If we break this, look for sell on pound, because pound is a little bit higher than euro. So you can look for sells on pound. But if we break to the downside, then look for buys on euro, because euro is deep in discount. All right, so yeah, that is that. Keep an eye, because if we break it, like I said, we'll be dropping somewhere here, so there will be room to the downside. Okay, so that's pretty much it from me for today. Hope you learned something, and I will see you same time tomorrow 1, and you see what the market will offer us. Adios.